My child, stop for one moment and listen to me carefully. I know you almost kept scrolling. I know part of you felt tired, distracted, and emotionally exhausted. But I brought you here for a reason. This is not random. This is not just another message passing through your screen. This is me reaching for your heart at the exact moment you needed it most. Before this day began, I already knew you would arrive here. Before you cried those silent tears last night, I have already prepared these words for your soul. So stay with me now, because what I am about to tell you will change the way you see your pain, your waiting, and your future forever. My beloved child, I am so proud of you. You have no idea how many times heaven watched you almost give up completely. There were moments when your heart was so heavy that even breathing felt difficult. There were nights when nobody knew how much pain you carried inside because you smiled in front of others while silently falling apart within yourself. But I saw it all. I saw every hidden tear you quickly wiped away before anyone noticed. I saw every moment you sat alone trying to convince yourself to stay strong one more day. I saw that exhaustion in your spirit when life kept hurting you again and again. And still, you kept going. You kept waiting up. You kept surviving. You kept holding on to hope even when your hands were shaking with fear and disappointment. My child, that is why I am speaking to you now with such love and pride in my heart. You thought nobody noticed your silent battles, but heaven noticed every single one of them. I watched you fight battles inside your mind that nobody around you could understand. I watched you carry emotional wounds that you never spoke about because you were tired of explaining your pain to people who could not truly hear your heart. I know there were moments when you questioned your worth. I know there were moments when you asked yourself if things would ever change. I know there were moments when you felt forgotten, abandoned, and emotionally drained beyond words. But listen to me carefully now. I never left you. Not once. Not for a single second. Even when you could not feel my presence, my hand was still covering your life. Even when your prayer sounded weak and broken, I was still listening closely to every word coming from your wounded spirit. My child, you survived things that were supposed to destroy you. Do you understand that? The enemy thought the pressure would break you completely. The pain was supposed to silence your faith. The betrayal was supposed to harden your heart forever. The disappointment was supposed to make you stop trusting me. But look at you. You are still here. Bruised, tired, emotional, and wounded perhaps, but still standing. That was not your strength alone. That was my grace holding you together when your spirit was too exhausted to carry itself anymore. There were days when you thought you were carrying yourself through the darkness, but it was actually me carrying you the entire time. I protected your mind when anxiety tried to consume you. I protected your heart when sadness tried to bury you. I protected your future even when confusion surrounded your life from every direction. My precious child, I need you to hear this deeply in your soul today. Your breakthrough is not coming someday far away in the future. Your breakthrough has already begun. Things are shifting around you right now in ways you cannot fully see yet. The prayers you thought were being ignored are already moving heaven. The doors you thought would never open are already being touched by my hand. The burden you have carried for so long is already beginning to break apart. You have cried enough tears in secret. You have carried enough emotional weight alone. You have spent enough nights wondering when your season would finally change. And now I am telling you clearly, your waiting season is ending. I know there were moments when you thought I forgot about you. You saw other people moving forward while your own life felt delayed and confusing. You wondered why blessings seemed to reach everyone except you. You wondered why your heart had to endure so much disappointment while others appeared happy and peaceful. But my child, what you called delay was actually preparation. I was protecting you from things you did not understand at the time. I was shaping your spirit for a future greater than what you could see in your moments of pain. Every delay carried purpose. Every closed door carried protection. Every painful goodbye carried hidden direction from my hand. Even the moments that broke your heart were preparing your spirit for the blessings that are now approaching your life. There is something happening inside you right now as you listen to my voice. You can feel it. The heaviness that sat on your chest for so long is beginning to loosen its grip. The hopelessness that tried to live inside your thoughts is beginning to lose its power over you. This is because my presence is reaching into the deepest parts of your heart right now. I am healing wounds you never told anyone about. I am restoring strength you lost during your silent battles. I am breathing peace into the places where fear lived for far too long. My child, I did not bring you this far just to abandon you before your miracle arrived. I have been guiding your life even in seasons when everything felt uncertain and unclear. I know you are tired. I know your heart became weary from fighting the same emotional battles over and over again. I know there were nights when quitting felt easier than continuing to hope. But listen carefully to me now. Do not give up when you are standing this close to the breakthrough you prayed for. Do not allow fear to convince you that nothing will change. Do not let disappointment speak louder than my promises over your life. What is ahead of you is greater than the pain behind you. The tears you cried in private are about to become testimonies of my faithfulness in your life. The same people who doubted your future will witness the restoration I bring into your story. The same heart that once felt broken and exhausted will soon overflow with peace, joy, and relief that only I can provide. Comment Amen. Your love has never failed me if you're living proof of His faithfulness. My beloved child, I need you to trust me in this season more than ever before. Stop measuring your future by your current emotions. Stop believing the lie that your story will always feel this painful. Your life is shifting. Your season is changing. Your prayers are being answered in ways you cannot yet fully understand. I am already working behind doors you cannot see. I am already arranging moments that will suddenly make everything clearer. The confusion will not last forever. The loneliness will not last forever. The waiting will not last forever. I am still writing your story, and I promise you this: I do not write hopeless endings for my children. You are not weak because you cried. You are not failing because you became tired. You are not forgotten because life became difficult. You are human, my child, and through every painful moment, I remain beside you. I never stopped loving you. I never stopped protecting you. I never stopped preparing a future filled with hope for you. That is why I brought you here today. I needed your spirit to hear my voice again. I needed your heart to remember that heaven still speaks your name with love. I needed you to know that I am still proud of you, even after everything you have been through. So breathe deeply now, my precious child. Let my words settle inside your soul. The season of carrying everything alone is ending. The season of silent suffering is ending. The season of wondering if I still hear your prayers is ending. I am bringing healing into places that have been broken for far too long. I am bringing peace into thoughts that have been overwhelmed by fear. I am bringing strength into the exhausted parts of your spirit. And soon, very soon, you will understand why you had to survive every painful moment that almost made you quit. Because the breakthrough you begged me for is no longer far away. It is already here. My child, there is something I need you to understand before you continue carrying this pain by yourself. Nothing about your suffering was hidden from me. Not one tear escaped my sight. Not one sleepless night passed without me sitting beside you. You became so good at pretending you were okay that even the people around you believed your smile was real. But I saw the truth hidden behind your eyes. I saw the heaviness you carried every time you told others you were fine while your heart quietly begged for relief. I saw the pressure building inside you when you stayed silent because you felt nobody would truly understand your pain. And even then, my child, I never looked away from you for a single moment. I watched you sit alone replaying painful memories in your mind, wondering why certain people hurt you so deeply. I watched you question yourself after every disappointment. I saw the moments when rejection made you feel unwanted and invisible. I saw how betrayal slowly damaged the way you trusted others. There were nights when your chest felt heavy from emotions you could not explain. You carried wounds nobody could see because some pain cannot be shown on the outside. And while the world continued moving around you, you quietly fought battles inside your mind that drained your strength day after day. But my beloved child, while you felt unseen by everyone else, you were never unseen by me. I remember the nights when you cried so quietly because you did not want anyone hearing your pain. I remember the moments when you stared at the ceiling asking why your life felt so difficult while others seemed happy and peaceful. I remember the exhaustion in your spirit when you became tired of being strong all the time. You carried responsibilities while your own heart was breaking. You encouraged others while secretly needing someone to encourage you. You kept showing love even after your own soul became wounded from disappointment after disappointment. And still, somehow, you continued moving forward even when your spirit felt empty inside. My child, heaven saw every second of that struggle. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us, given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. There were moments when you almost broke completely. Moments when you smiled in public but cried the moment you were alone again. Moments when your thoughts became so overwhelming that you did not know how to explain the heaviness sitting inside your heart. You asked yourself questions nobody else heard. Why am I hurting like this? When will things finally change? Why does it feel like everyone leaves? Why does life keep testing me? My child, I heard every question whispered through your tears. I listened to every silent prayer hidden behind your exhausted smile. And even when you felt abandoned, I was holding you closer than you realized. You thought your tears were weakness, but I saw courage inside every one of them. You thought your emotional exhaustion meant you were failing, but I saw a soul fighting to survive through pain that would have destroyed many others. You do not fully understand how strong you became during the seasons that nearly broke you. Every morning you forced yourself to get out of bed despite the heaviness inside your chest. Heaven noticed. Every time you chose to keep going instead of giving up completely, heaven noticed. Every moment you held your pain quietly because you did not want to burden others, heaven noticed. My child, nothing about your suffering was ignored. I know there were moments when you felt emotionally abandoned by people you trusted. Some walk away when you needed them most. Some only loved you when you were strong enough to carry everyone else. Some never understood the depth of your heart. And because of that pain, you slowly started believing the lie that maybe you were too difficult to love properly. But listen carefully to me now. The way others failed to love you does not define your worth. The way others misunderstood your heart does not change how deeply valuable you are to me. Human disappointment never changes divine love. And my love for you has never weakened for even 1 second. My beloved child, I also saw the battles nobody else could recognize. The anxiety you hid behind laughter. The fear you buried under silence. The exhaustion you carried while pretending to stay strong. I saw you overthinking late at night while everyone else slept peacefully. I saw your heart racing with worry about the future. I saw the tears you quickly wiped away before anyone noticed them falling. I saw the moments you felt emotionally numb because your spirit became too tired to process more pain. And through every hidden battle, I stayed beside you, protecting your mind from completely collapsing under the pressure. There were times when you questioned if your prayers were reaching me at all. You prayed while feeling emotionally empty. You worshipped while carrying heartbreak. You continued believing while part of you quietly wondered if things would ever improve. But my child, those prayers were never ignored. Every tear became a prayer in my hands. Every exhausted whisper reached heaven. Even when your faith felt weak, I still honored the sincerity of your wounded heart. You kept reaching toward me even while hurting deeply, and that moved heaven more than you realize. I know you became tired of explaining your pain to people who only gave temporary comfort. I know you felt lonely even while surrounded by others because nobody truly understood the heaviness inside your spirit. But I understood. I'd always understood. I knew the parts of your story you never spoke aloud. I knew the trauma hidden beneath your silence. I knew how many times your heart broke quietly while you continued acting normal around everyone else. And still, my child, I remained patient with you. I stayed near you in every emotional storm, even during the moments when you pushed everyone away because you were too hurt to trust again. You kept asking yourself why you had to endure so much emotional pain. Why certain wounds cut so deeply. Why some prayers seemed delayed, while your heart desperately needed relief. But my child, although the pain hurt deeply, it never had permission to destroy the destiny I placed inside you. The enemy wanted your suffering to convince you that your future was hopeless. Fear wanted you to believe your story would always feel broken. But I never allowed pain to become the final chapter of your life. I was still working even in your darkest seasons. I was still protecting your purpose even while your heart struggled to survive disappointment after disappointment. Do you remember those nights when you almost gave up emotionally? Nights when the pressure inside your mind became too heavy? Nights when you quietly wondered if anyone would even notice how deeply you were hurting? My child, I noticed. I always noticed. I sat beside you during every breakdown. I stayed close during every lowly moment. Even when you felt empty inside, my hand remained over your life. The reason you survived those painful seasons is because I refused to let darkness fully consume you. My grace carried you when your own strength disappeared. You became stronger in ways nobody else could see. Not because life became easier, but because your soul learned how to survive storms while still holding on to hope. That hidden strength inside you was not accidental. I was building endurance within your spirit. I was teaching your heart how to keep believing even when circumstances look hopeless. And now, my child, the same tears you cried in silence are becoming part of the testimony that will inspire others someday. The pain was real, but so is the healing I am bringing into your life now. I need you to stop believing that your emotions make you weak. The fact that you kept loving after heartbreak is strength. The fact that you kept praying after disappointment is strength. The fact that you survived nights filled with anxiety, fear, and loneliness is strength. You are much stronger than you realize, my child. And the reason you are still standing today is because I never stopped holding your life together behind the scenes. There were moments when you felt forgotten because nothing around you seemed to approve. But what you could not see was me quietly protecting you from things that would have caused even deeper pain later. Some closed doors protected your future. Some painful endings protected your peace. Some delays protected your destiny. You cried over situations that I knew would have destroyed the person you are becoming. And although you did not understand it then, one day you will thank me for every moment I protected you through disappointment you could not explain at the time. My precious child, I am speaking directly to the deepest wounded parts of your heart right now. You do not have to carry this pain alone anymore. You do not have to pretend you are always okay. You do not have to keep hiding your exhaustion behind fake strength. Bring your brokenness to me completely. Bring the confusion, the fear, the disappointment, the sadness, the loneliness, and the emotional scars. I am not afraid of your pain. I am not tired of your tears. I am not distant from your suffering. I am your father, and I have been waiting for you to stop carrying everything alone. The world may have misunderstood your heart, but I never misunderstood you. Others may have ignored your pain, but I never ignored your tears. Others may have walked away when things became difficult, but I remained beside you through every storm. And now, my child, the healing your soul has desperately needed is beginning to enter your life. Slowly, gently, deeply, I am restoring the parts of you that pain tried to destroy. You survived because I stayed with you. Say amen. I see new doors ahead if you're believing for open opportunities and favor. And I will continue staying with you until every tear becomes peace. My child, there is something I need you to admit to yourself today. You were much closer to giving up than anyone around you ever realized. There were moments when your soul became so exhausted that even simple things felt heavy. You smiled in front of people while secretly wondering how much longer you could continue carrying the pressure inside your heart. You became an expert at hiding pain because you did not want others worrying about you. You kept saying, "I'm okay," while your spirit quietly cried for rest. But I knew the truth. I saw the emotional battles you fought behind closed doors. I saw how hard you struggled just to make it through another day. There were nights when your mind would not stop racing. Nights when fear, sadness, disappointment, and exhaustion all spoke at once inside your thoughts. You tried to stay strong, but deep inside, part of you felt tired of fighting battles nobody else could even see. Sometimes the pressure became so intense that you questioned everything. You questioned your future. You questioned your worth. You questioned whether things would ever truly get better. And during those painful moments, you felt guilty for feeling weak because you believed you were supposed to stay strong all the time. But my child, you were never meant to carry life completely alone. I remember every moment when quitting seemed easier than continuing. I remember the mornings when you woke up emotionally drained before the day even began. I remember how difficult it became for you to keep pretending everything was fine. Some days your heart felt so heavy that even smiling required strength you no longer had. You became tired of disappointment, tired of hoping, tired of waiting, tired of surviving instead of truly living. And still, even through all that emotional exhaustion, you continued moving forward one small step at a time. That matters more than you realize. You thought your survival was ordinary, but heaven saw it as courage. Every time you chose not to quit, heaven noticed. Every time you kept breathing through panic, sadness, loneliness, and emotional pain, heaven noticed. Every time you cried quietly but still woke up the next morning to try again, heaven noticed. My child, people around you only saw small pieces of your struggle, but I saw the full weight you carried every single day. I know how many times you almost collapsed emotionally while trying to hold everything together for everyone else. There were moments when your faith became exhausted too. You prayed while secretly wondering if your prayers were making any difference. You worshipped while carrying pain you did not understand. You waited for answers while silence surrounded your life. And sometimes that silence hurt more than the struggle itself. Because part of you wondered if I had forgotten your name. Part of you wondered if heaven was still listening at all. But my beloved child, I never stopped listening. Even when my answers were delayed, my presence never left your side. I stayed with you through every painful season, even when your heart became too tired to recognize me. I know there were moments when you sat alone trying not to cry because you were emotionally exhausted from being disappointed over and over again. You kept hoping things would improve. But every time your heart started healing, something else seemed to break it again. And slowly, you started feeling emotionally numb. You laughed less. You trusted less. You hoped less. You became careful with your emotions because pain taught you how dangerous vulnerability could feel. But even then, my child, there was still a small light inside your spirit refusing to completely die. That light was me holding on to you when you no longer had strength to hold on to yourself. The enemy wanted your exhaustion to become permanent hopelessness. Fear wanted you to believe your future would never improve. Anxiety wanted to trap your mind inside endless overthinking. Sadness wanted to convince you that your best days were already gone. But I refused to let darkness fully consume the destiny I placed inside you. Even during your weakest moments, I was quietly protecting your spirit from completely breaking apart. You survived because my hand remained over your life even while you struggled to feel my presence. My child, there were tears you never allowed anyone to see. Tears you swallowed because you did not want to appear weak. Tears you cried while asking questions nobody could answer for you. You became emotionally exhausted from carrying hidden pain while still trying to function normally around others. Some days your heart felt so overwhelmed that you barely recognized yourself anymore. You missed the version of yourself that once felt hopeful and peaceful. But pain changed you slowly, and you became tired of pretending everything was okay when deep inside you were silently falling apart. Still, through every painful season, you continued surviving. That matters deeply to me. I know you do not always feel strong, but surviving emotional storms that almost destroyed your peace required more courage than you realize. Many people would have completely given up after experiencing what you carried silently. But you kept going. You kept trying. You kept praying even when your faith felt weak and fragile. And heaven celebrates that perseverance far more than you understand right now. I need you to stop criticizing yourself for becoming tired. You are not failing because your heart became weary. You are not weak because pain affected your emotions. You are not spiritually broken because you struggled during difficult seasons. You are human, my child. Human hearts become exhausted after carrying too much pain for too long. But even in your exhaustion, I remain faithful to you. I never judged your tears. I never rejected your weakness. I never became disappointed in your emotional struggles. Instead, I stayed close to you with compassion while you fought battles inside your mind and spirit. There were moments when you truly believed nobody would understand the depth of your pain. And honestly, many people around you probably did not fully understand. But I understood every part of it. I understood the heartbreak behind your silence. I understood the loneliness hidden behind your smile. I understood the fear hidden inside your overthinking. I understood why your soul became tired from carrying invisible wounds day after day. That is why I never condemned you during your weakest moments. I covered you with grace even while you struggled to carry yourself emotionally. My beloved child, do not forget how many times you survived situations you thought would completely destroy you. There were moments when you believed you would never recover emotionally, yet somehow you are still here today listening to my voice. That is not accidental. That is evidence of my hand protecting your life through every painful season. Even when your emotions became unstable, my love for you remained steady. Even when your thoughts became filled with fear and confusion, my plans for your future never changed. Even when you doubted yourself, I never doubted the purpose I placed inside your life. You spent so much time trying to survive that you forgot how valuable you truly are. Pain made you focus on your wounds instead of your strength. Disappointment made you focus on delays instead of the growth happening inside your spirit. But I see the full picture, my child. I see the person you are becoming through every battle you survive. I see the wisdom growing inside you. I see the compassion your suffering created. I see the strength your storms developed quietly over time. And although the process hurt deeply, it was never meaningless. I know there were days when you begged for relief because your mind felt exhausted from carrying so much emotional weight. You became tired of pretending, tired of hoping, tired of waiting for things to improve. But listen carefully to me now. The fact that you survived those seasons means your story is not finished. If I carried you through the nights when you almost gave up completely, then trust me when I tell you I also have the power to carry you into healing, peace, restoration, and breakthrough. Your pain will not have the final word over your life. Your exhaustion will not define your future. Your tears were never wasted. Every silent battle you survived became proof that my grace was stronger than the darkness trying to consume you. And now, my precious child, the season where you only survive is slowly ending. Because I am leading you into a season where your soul will finally begin to breathe again. My child, stop doubting your value for one moment and listen carefully to my voice. I am proud of you. I know those words are difficult for your heart to fully believe because life has made you feel like you were never enough. People praised you only when you performed well. Some only stayed when you were useful to them. Others made you feel invisible even while you were giving them your entire heart. Slowly, you began measuring your worth by how others treated you. But my child, your value was never meant to be decided by human opinions. Your worth comes from me. And today, I need you to hear this deeply inside your soul. I am proud of you exactly as you are right now. I am proud of you for surviving seasons that almost destroyed your peace completely. I saw how difficult it became for you to continue smiling while carrying so much hidden pain. I saw the nights when your heart became so tired that even praying felt difficult. Yet you still whispered my name through your tears. You still held on to hope even while fear surrounded your thoughts. You still chose to wake up each morning even after crying yourself to sleep the night before. My child, heaven saw every one of those moments, and I need you to understand that your strength during those painful seasons moved my heart deeply. I am proud of you because you kept loving even after being hurt so many times. Many people would have become cold, bitter, and cruel after experiencing the disappointments you faced. But despite your pain, there is still kindness inside your heart. Even after betrayal, you still care deeply for others. Even after heartbreak, you still try to love sincerely. Even after people misunderstood you, abandoned you, or failed to appreciate your heart, you still carry compassion inside your spirit. That softness inside you is not weakness, my child. It is evidence that darkness failed to destroy the goodness I placed within you. I saw the moments when you wanted to give up on people completely. I saw the moments when your heart became exhausted from always being the one who cared more deeply. You became tired of being disappointed, tired of investing love into people who never valued your heart properly, tired of being emotionally strong for everyone else while nobody noticed your own pain. And still, even through all of that hurt, you continued trying to love sincerely. My child, that matters more than you realize. Heaven celebrates hearts that continue loving despite pain. I am proud of you because you continued fighting battles nobody else knew about. The world only saw your outside appearance, but I saw the emotional war happening inside your mind every day. I saw how anxiety tried to steal your peace. I saw how fear tried to convince you that your future was hopeless. I saw how sadness quietly drained your energy until even simple things felt difficult. Yet despite all of that pressure, you continued moving forward. You kept surviving. You kept trying. You kept breathing through emotional storms that almost consumed your spirit completely. My child, do not underestimate the strength that required. There were moments when you believed you were failing because life became too heavy emotionally. But I never called you a failure. Not once. I saw courage in every moment you continued standing while your soul felt exhausted. I saw bravery every time you wiped your tears and kept going. I saw faith every time you prayed even while carrying disappointment. You thought you were weak because you struggled emotionally, but heaven saw a warrior refusing to completely surrender to darkness. That is why I am proud of you. I am proud of you because you remained gentle in a world that often rewarded coldness. Life tried to harden your heart many times. Pain tried to make you stop caring. Betrayal tried to teach you to never trust again. But even through all those wounds, your heart still carries love, compassion, empathy, and kindness. My child, protecting softness after surviving pain requires incredible strength. Do not allow this world to convince you otherwise. I know you sometimes compare yourself to others and feel like you are falling behind in life. You look at people around you and wonder why their journey seems easier while your path feels filled with struggle and waiting. You question whether you are doing something wrong because your breakthrough has taken so long. But my child, you are comparing your hidden battles to someone else's visible blessings. You do not see the full story. And most importantly, your value does not decrease simply because your journey looks different from others. I created your story carefully and intentionally. Nothing about your process has been meaningless. I am proud of you because even during your weakest moments, you still reached for me. You did not always have perfect faith. You did not always feel strong spiritually. Sometimes your prayers sounded more like cries for help than confident declarations. But my child, sincerity always reaches my heart. Even when your faith felt fragile, you still kept turning toward me instead of completely walking away. And that mattered deeply in heaven. I saw the moments when you sat alone wondering if anyone truly cared about your pain. I saw the loneliness hidden behind your silence. I saw the exhaustion in your eyes when life kept demanding more from you emotionally. And still, you continued trying to be kind to others while your own heart quietly needed healing. My child, you gave love during seasons when you personally felt empty inside. That kind of perseverance carries beauty heaven never ignores. There were times when you became frustrated with yourself because healing seemed slower than you expected. You wanted peace faster. You wanted answers sooner. You wanted the pain to disappear immediately. But healing is not weakness, my child. Healing takes courage. Continuing to fight for peace after heartbreak takes strength. Continuing to hope after disappointment takes faith. Continuing to trust after betrayal takes bravery. And through every painful stage of your journey, I remain proud of the person you were becoming. Type Amen. Your grace wrote my story if God's mercy changed everything for you. And share this video.